Welcome back to the LoCo Experience Podcast. My guest today is Adam Eggleston, for mayor, as his T-shirt says.
I am. Thank you for having me.
That's a pretty solid T-shirt. Did you make more than one?
I have 4 or 5 different designs I've made, and
But all solos? You don't have like a crew of like volunteers that all get a T-shirt for?
Oh yeah, so
minions?
I have this shirt and one other shirt that if anyone donates $25 or more to my campaign and requests a shirt, I will get a shirt to them.
Oh, nice.
Typically within about 2 days.
Okay.
Can do a whole bunch of different colors, and so I do have a whole bunch of volunteers and friends.
Do you have a screen printing business in your garage or something?
No, I found a single print, like on demand print. It's a little bit pricier than like.
Right, so you're paying like $26 for these $25 donations?
No, I'm paying like $22.
But they might get other donors.
May get
you
other donors.
Start a movement that way, right?
Yeah, and I always like the worst part about I suck at asking for money and whatnot, and I'm just doing it because
you're like, hey, buy a cool T-shirt.
Yeah, and because I'm really enjoying designing new T-shirts. I just designed 2 more yesterday.
Sweet.
So when I have downtime from the campaign, which isn't often. I'm playing on Canva and designing new shirts and stuff like that.
You're building new skills as you run for mayor.
Trying to.
And have you? What's the new designs? Can I ask?
Yeah. So I have a kind of a rustic black and white design with 4 columns with horse tooth in the background.
Okay. More classic.
More classic. 4 columns, Colorado. And then I have a really nice...
This is your Comic-Con shirt here.
This is my Comic-Con. I wear this shirt when I door knock, because if they see a fat man walking up to a door wearing this shirt, they're like, you're not a normal canvasser.
Right.
And we should probably check to make sure you're okay.
Right. Is this person being... like held without their permission or something like that.
Or like, why is this guy like walking? He doesn't seem like he's
Does he need some food?
Yeah, food. Or I do get, I'm running.
Shush.
If like people are seeing me out in the neighborhoods, like, hey, if you see me, check to make sure I have sunscreen on and I'm doing okay. I'm not used to exercise and my head burns really easily. And I've had people stop me. They're like, you got sunscreen on? I was like, yeah. I was like, thanks for asking. It's 4 columns looking out for 4 columns. And so... It's a really fun way to play on, the door knocking and being professional and having the suit and tie on the right forms and
appropriate times.
For times, but tonight I figured eating hot sauces, having fun time, talking about just creative stuff. It's a good place to rock the Comic-Con, the slight overweight superhero.
He's looking good.
Thank you.
He's looking good. Well, and I hope you're prepared for me to take my shirt off tonight, because we're doing a selection of much hotter sauces than we did in the Shirley Peel interview, because she advised us ahead of time that she was an anti-spice girl, and she did the whole run, including a couple pretty burning ones. So, and I was sweaty. Like, that was one of the last things she said to me in the interview was, my God, I can't believe how sweaty you are.
So I completely anticipate. I didn't know shirts would be coming off. Your shirt may come off. Mine won't.
Okay.
If I do that,
I'm not sure if my shirt will come off.
I would lose instantly. There'd be 0 effort on me running for the rest of the campaign. And I kind of figured this hot sauces might be a little bit hotter. Just with my friendship and my knowledge.
So credit with due. This was a little bit your idea.
So,
and we've excluded you from all the planning and stuff since the idea was seeded with Sean and Paul.
So, exactly. This was I'm sitting at Crazy Carl's, and I was like, hey, I just got done watching a Hot Ones episode, and I was like, this would be fun to do, get real questions and answers from candidates. And I knew a lot of my peer candidates would probably be down for it. And I've known Sean forever, and so met him at Crazy Carl's. I was like, hey, what about this? He's like, I'm in. And then I like messaged Paul. I was like, hey, Paul, do you want to do this? He's like, I'm in. And then Sean turned me on to you, and I was like, Kurt, would you be in on this? And you're in. And so it turned into just a random. I
was like, I'll have a coffee about it. I don't know if I'm in or not, but.
And then it's like, oh, this is a thing. Now
by the way, we're still looking for sponsors to help cover the cost of producing this episode. Adam offered to pay us back later, especially if he gets elected mayor.
Or if I lose, I think if I lose,
that sounds ethically policy. Anyway,
I don't know.
We're doing it of our own free will and volition, without sponsors and without any expectation of hookups. Although it would be nice if parking remained free.
So, I think that's maybe a conversation we could have, and I do agree with that.
So let's, before we get too far into a normal LoCo Experience episode,
Yeah.
we've got a format today.
Okay.
And that format includes dipping a nugget into this first sauce, which is going to be pretty modest, giving some tasting notes, and then once you're done chewing, we need some napkins in here. Would somebody be so kind as to bring us some napkins? And then once we have offered tasting notes, then we shall ask you the first question.
I like it.
And by we, I mean me.
Okay.
I'm not trying to use like a plural.
I mean, I could ask you questions as well. I don't know
Well,
if that
to some
would...
extent, the community is asking you questions. Thanks, Ava.
Thank you.
And because a couple of these questions were community sourced, and so it is a we.
So I like it. Like I've said before, there's not a question I won't answer. There may be, I may not have the answers to the questions,
Sure.
but at least I will attempt to answer any question.
At least what you think.
Yeah.
Anyway. I dig it. So let's do the first nug.
Perfect.
So this is. Oh, and actually, as we go, if you can reach them. So would you mind telling the audience what this one is? This is the Matador barbecue sauce.
Yeah, so Matador barbecue sauce.
Just kind of their straight up barbecue.
Yeah, just kind of you're running the mill.
Oh, and Shirley and I decided if you switch it around, you can double dip, but you have to go to the non-bitten end.
No, that makes sense.
Because neither of us wanted to, like, not be able to double dip, but, germs and all that.
Nice, sweet, good flavor. Nice on the tang, but not too tangy.
Yeah.
So just a good
Won't offend
traditional.
anybody.
Yeah, just a good traditional buff or barbecue sauce. This is good. And I could rock this a lot.
It seems to me like it would be especially good, like, I'm thinking about, like, kind of burned on the edges on some chicken thighs on the grill and that kind of thing, where it's been maybe drizzled a couple times even before you serve it.
Oh yeah, you throw this on a good like burnt ends or pork belly would be really good.
So the first question from James Merkley, one of our co-collaborators here as well, StoryPath Creative. What's your fondest story to share about the people or the community of Fort Collins?
I've had a really fun and interesting career in life where I've lived here my whole life, and there's been several times where I have seen the community come out to support me through different challenges, medical issues from car accidents, and
really?
I've really seen it's always been the community feel every time I've gone out. And one of my favorite parts about Fort Collins is no matter where I've gone, I run into people anywhere I go, and everyone's very friendly. I don't know if there's probably less than 5 interactions I've had in my entire life in Fort Collins, which has been pretty much my entire life.
Yeah.
That are negative. And then I've also, in my current position as a community advocate, helping out those throughout the community, is I really have seen the interaction that our community members give to each other. When someone's at their worst, or they're struggling with a challenge, or they just have gone through a traumatic experience, I've seen time and time again where our community members come out to support each other with no idea or concern about payment back or service back. And I've been in...
Yeah, I think about even the Save the Lyric campaign.
Yeah.
Way back when.
It's...
before the new Lyric location was established and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or things like that.
And going out to and being a part of all these nonprofits where no one ever asks about what's your political background. No one ever asks about your social economic style or background. Our community really seems to come out to help each other when it's needed and when it's warranted. And so for me, the accumulation of just living here and seeing the absolute positivity that our community has for each other is absolutely...
Yeah.
just immense and grateful. Even whenever you see the one outliers that tries to start or cause issues, the amount of people come out to kind of stop that is quite impressive and just endearing.
Yeah. I think that's probably when you and I had that coffee to talk about this the first time, was just kind of both of our notions of like the localization of your attention and of your efforts.
Yeah, it's, you know, I've always been hyper focused on Fort Collins, but it's easy to be because of how many great individuals and people there are. It's easy to be focused on hyper local, and even with community members I work with and talk with, and I've served on 15, 16 meeting task force committee groups.
Oh wow!
I'm kind of addicted to meetings. I've been told that's why I'm running for
Oh my
mayor,
God.
is because I'm addicted to meetings,
Shoot me now.
and I absolutely love being meetings. But being there and seeing the diverse opinions and positions and everything that goes
Yeah.
on, but even when we are disagreeing, we do it respectfully.
Yeah.
And truth be told, I've had more challenging debates and arguments over where we're going to get drinks, or like which brewery we're going to go to, than anything important. I don't know what that says about me or the community, but we'll have intense debates. But then the hardest part of after we debate and argue a position is, are we going to go to Odell's? Are we going to go to Max Line?
Well,
Or
I have a question.
yes.
Why would you go to Max Line over Odell's?
So the owners of Max Line are two
That's
amazing
One of the
good
big
friends.
reasons. And you're not Old Town,
Yeah.
which is another good reason.
Not Old Town. And so
And-
I got stung on this question in 2018 when I ran. I was asked, the question was, we were at Prost, and the question was, what's the best beer in town? I gave this very long diatribe answer. It was like based on the seasons. So like Sad Panda's delicious. Why has the...
You tried to make everybody happy.
and not just everyone happy. I just like beer. I always say that Fort Collins shaped my mind, but also my body with the beer scene. And
More the beers than the bikes.
exactly. I think biking sounds fun in principle, but I also like beer more than biking. And so yeah, it's just been fun. And so I gave this long diatribe answer, and Julie, who was my peer candidate, she had the best answer I've ever heard. She's like, whatever beer's in front of me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's the right answer.
My favorite beer is Free Beer.
That was
And
her
after that,
follow-up.
Odell's IPA is kind of my next favorite.
Odell IPA is probably the best beer.
I think we're ready for the honey sauce. Ava, are you ready to bring it for us? Thank you.
So, honey habanero sauce from Matador. Mm-hmm. Anytime, any things that Paul makes, even if it says honey, I know there's going to be heat.
There's a little heat, but usually things that say habanero are actually more hot than this one.
That's fair.
So I think it's a very pleasant. You won't be sweating from this one. I think I might be, baby. We were at High Hops the other day, and they have a honey habanero beer, actually in a can only. Habanero honey. Hunny is how they spell it, because they do a lot of weird stuff there. But you would probably like that too, because it's beer.
This beer. This is really nice. It has a nice subtle heat, kind of the back of the throat. Mm-hmm. But the honey and I think the honey helps coats that, so it kind of goes down as you feel the heat going down.
I agree.
And so, good flavor, good easy thing. This would be nice on a hot wing. This would be a great entry, like hot sauce for like kids.
Oh yeah,
Where
it's a hot sauce, but you're gonna love it because it's so full of honey that you can't help but love it.
Yeah.
Your brain's already been trained to love it.
Your brain's been trained to labor. I actually just saw a thing that a natural cure for like if you have coughs at night, instead of taking like NyQuil, do like a small spoon of honey, and that has a thing as like taking NyQuil.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My grandpa did that, but he put whiskey in it.
That would also help.
And hot water. He called it a hot toddy. But that was a children's cough remedy from my mom's dad.
I mean, those old remedies, I always say our
Well,
parents,
it wasn't a ton of booze, maybe a tablespoon of booze
Yeah.
or something, right?
but that would help keep everyone asleep.
Especially when you're 3 and you haven't had booze before.
that would help.
The second question is from Paul,
Okay.
owner of Matador. What is your plan to help support small businesses to start and grow in Fort Collins?
So I recently closed. I was a small business owner. I owned Oak Coffee Co. and I recently closed it on June 30th, just due to commodity prices and tariffs and whatnot.
Okay.
So being a small business owner, seeing on how many permitting and hoops you had to go through.
Yeah.
I understand.
Even to have a micro business virtually.
Yeah, micro business and how many different regulations I had to go through just for roasting coffee. I didn't have a patrons. I was a wholesale coffee company, and there was a lot of steps I had to go through. And some things I know the city can't control. We can't control commodity prices. We can't control outside influences, but we can control the permitting time and fee structure in order to make it easier to start businesses so there's less downtime.
Yeah.
And then going forward, I wanted to see if we can explore some type of way to stabilize rent because I know that's one of the hardest things for small businesses.
Okay.
And it's the rent increases in some cases are 25, 30, 40% every 2 years. Where if you're a small business or a local business, you're not being able to budget for a 40% increase in rent every two years. And so what ends up happening is you're making a fine wage or income, or you're making
Right.
you're
doing okay for a
existing,
while.
but then all of a sudden you're having to raise your
Expense creep.
prices by another 30% to match the 40% increase in rent. So
why do you think the rent increased that much? And what would you do to stabilize, quote unquote, the rent?
So we need to work with the county assessor. I think I think over the last 5 or 8 years through the pandemic, we've really seen values went up so
Like
much.
fake values.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Fake or just inappropriate increase in value of proposition. Property values.
Yep.
To a point where a lot of
Well, they can't pay the property taxes almost unless they increase the rent.
Correct. Or not even that, where the value of the property isn't even what that's being assessed for.
Yeah.
And so
I
if you're
experienced that. I sent the city appraisal on my residential property for $530,000 after they raised my tax assessor's value to $695.
wow.
Because I was trying to build a carriage house. I was like, here's my as-is valuation from last month. And they were like, sorry, I can't hear you. We need your money.
Yeah.
Bye.
And as a former realtor, I would do protests for all of my clients and anyone who asked. And at some point, we were seeing property values, residentials go up 30, 40, 50% year over year. But we've seen that consistently with commercial.
Yeah.
Even though that the market's starting to stabilize and kind of correct a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're not seeing those values come down. So we're still seeing the property values go up 40%. Where if your
Or at least the cost of occupancy.
Yeah. And so now the business owners that may not have the collateral to buy the $5 million building are having to be subject to those rent increases.
Okay. So what would but don't those property owners need to get that level of
They
rent to
do.
stay solvent? Or
So-
would you have the city subsidize rent or something? That seems almost worse.
We can't subsidize rent, and what we can do is work with the county assessor to stabilize rent increases. So in
or valuation increases?
Yeah, valuation
That would
increases.
be something I would agree with, is that property values shouldn't be able to go up 10 times or the rate of inflation.
Yeah.
Right? Because inflation was supposed to be 3 or 4 or 5%. Or even maybe more than double inflation. They can't jack it that fast.
So they have to have a better.
Because that creates kind of an inflationary,
Yeah.
turbine almost, where now the rent's higher, so I got to charge more for my food that I'm selling to my customers, and now that everybody's paying more.
And the smaller businesses have a harder time keeping up with that cost increase. If you're Starbucks, because you're getting your coffee at 10 cents a pound because you own the land where it's grown, the ships that it's shipped on, the trucks, you own everything. You can find ways to stabilize that price increase. If you're a small business owner, you may not be able to handle that rent going from $5,000 a month to $7,000 a month, because now you're asking your customers to pay.
Well, maybe not. I would argue that Starbucks left Old Town partly because the rent was too high compared to the traffic allowed, and the parking.
So in Old Town, as a good example, I would think we should maybe convert Old Town into an opportunity zone where we work with the county assessor just not to increase the assessed value. Now the property values can go up. So if you're a property owner and you want to sell it for 10 million, but stabilize it for
So they almost get a subsidized property tax situation because we want Old Town to continue to exist as a retail environment.
and to provide stability. So rather than every maybe another way to think about it, maybe instead of the property values increase every 2 years, they are only increased every 5 years. So at least that gives a 5-year bandwidth.
But then it would have to increase more if Mr. Market's got a hand in it.
If Mr. Market does have a hand, but right now we're seeing I think our property values needs to correct.
It's fake news.
Yeah.
Yeah, because actually the property values aren't as high as they've been assessed.
So maybe
so people are trying to get the rent that they can use to
so
cover
we
all those
stabilize
expenses.
it for the next 5 years. At least give some. And so
I'm wary of the hand of government, I just got to say, but we have to move on because we have to do these shows pretty quickly.
And I completely understand that. And I guess my question is, I have ideas, but I need to.
Let's explore with people.
Exactly.
All right, we can do that.
Cool.
Next nug. Oh, sorry, Ava. I should have called for the next sauce. This is actually a rub.
Oh. So this
was-
is Buffalo Hot Wing Rub from Old Town Spy Shop.
Yeah, this was Shirley's favorite,
Oh.
actually, from last episode.
Very nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited to, I actually prefer dry rub wings than over sauced wings. And I could see rubbing some wings down with some olive oil and then rub this stuff in real nice and just hit it in the air fryer. For me, because I do like the dry rubs a little bit more.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's actually a really nice flavor. They're getting good back end heat on the back end of the throat. Good initial tongue feel as well.
Tastes very like authentic buffalo to me. It's like Frank's. Mm-hmm. It kind of tastes like Frank's.
Very, very delicious. Sean has a Coyote Pass, which is a pretty spicy rub, and I've been doing dry rubs with wings with that.
Okay.
And it's spicier than that. That has a good flavor, and it continues to build, so it's still building. And I think it's because it's a powder.
Right.
It's kind of sticking around the tongue.
Yeah, that powder would really stick on some stuff too. So whatever you want to make kind of buffalo-y, it would be good.
That'd be, I think, good in ground chuck to do burgers. To do like a pepper jack
Oh yeah,
with like a
that'd be fun.
nice like buffalo burger
Little touch. I like it.
Add
Yeah,
some
put a
heat
little
to
blue
it.
cheese on there.
Yeah, pepper jack blue
I
cheese.
like it. This question's from Mayor Emeritus. When I say that, what do you think I mean?
Well, so Mayor Emeritus is a previous one of our previous mayors.
The Mayor
The
Emeritus.
The mayor. So that's the mayor previous to Jenny Arndt, which would be Mayor Troxel.
Yes, that's what I call him anyway.
I just call him Wade.
Well, that too. His question you've already heard because it came from a thing, but he wanted to repeat it in this live forever digital forum.
Perfect.
Fort Collins has been described as the choice city of Colorado and is known for beers, bikes, and bands,
Yes.
and more. What's your vision for the evolving brand of Fort Collins in 30 years from now? What could or should Fort Collins be known for?
So I still see us being known as the beer, bands, and bikes. Our platinum rated status as being a biking community isn't going away.
Right.
We
We got a flat town with lots of trails. We've invested a ton in it.
and it's people, and it brings people here, and it's amazing. And beer will probably go through a cycle change again. Maybe it will be a cider and beer, or maybe
I wouldn't be
different thing.
surprised if it comes back.
Yeah,
Because seltzers took over the world.
and now it's still
But boring. It's
Yeah.
about as exciting as seltzer waters, right?
100%. And I think when we hit like 30 breweries
Right.
turn of last decade, I think 30 was maybe too many. I think hovering around that 25.
Sure. Yeah.
25 is fine. 30 is too much.
Okay.
So I still see us being there, and with the support and the kind of the increase of music awareness from Pat Stryker and
Sure.
the Washingtons
Bohemian
and Bohemian
Washingtons, all that.
Foundations. I don't think that's going
Unlikely
away.
music won't be a big part of it.
No.
Okay, so what B should we add? Is there a B we can add to that?
So business, I think.
Oh.
I think to
It'd
really
be nice to re-add that because the business community is kind of like I started LoCo Think Tank when kind of the number of like startups and excitement and stuff was almost at its peak.
Yeah.
And it's waned.
It's waned, and I think we have a lot of ability to bring in more businesses.
Okay.
Both local and homegrown, but also, and I talked about this last week, is we need to become an innovation hub for clean energy. Especially, we have the brown cloud sitting over Fort Collins because
Sure.
of the inversion. Like we sit in a bowl and everything goes over us.
Yep.
So let's attract a whole lot of innovative companies to test out air scrubbers, to test out ways to clean the air.
Okay.
We already try to be a green and carbon neutral city.
Yep.
So and we have a lot of space, not just locally within Fort Collins. We're kind of landlocked space wise, but we have a lot of prairies. We have a lot of surrounding areas that we could really use to really develop new technology. And so we went through that computer tech bubble in the 2000s. I think not to do a bubble, but I think we should go back to attracting some clean energy, some clean tech, and so in 20 years,
I mean, energy is money. In my view, like they're like oil or electricity of any sort is more like money than money is like because you can't just print it. You got to get it from somewhere
I think whoever invents
or conserve it, right?
conserve it, whoever invents the mass energy storage capacity, so like the solid state batteries, but for megatons or megawatts,
Yeah.
will be the next Rockefeller. They'll be the next.
Yeah,
or the
I would
next,
say that's if they can protect it.
if they can protect it.
Right.
And so if we can attract those businesses here, and we'll create jobs, and a lot of these tech businesses are all about providing housing for their employees. So then we can actually do public private partnerships to build
Like semi-on-site housing,
semi-on-site housing, employer subsidized housing is what it's been. I've heard. Estes Park has done this a little bit with some of their communities. So other communities have done this, and it's been successful because it adds housing, and it adds jobs, and it adds. So I think it's not B, but I think we really need to become an innovative,
better energy.
Yeah, better energy test.
That's the B.
Yeah,
for you.
Better energy. So
my very first invention in my brain, it hasn't happened yet, but it was actually a solid state electrical storage thing.
Nice.
What I wanted to build was, basically the old tops where you would spin it and it would go forever, and especially the ones with the wide disc,
perpetual motion.
like the wide disc and then the pointy thing, and it would just go a long time, right? I wanted to do that, but have it be like a mile wide and heavy as shit, and then put a big antenna up, and every time a thunderstorm goes across North Dakota and there's lightning, that lightning goes into that antenna, and the antenna makes the disc spin a little faster.
And provides that.
Yeah, and it
turbine.
sits on like a superconductor elevated magnetic thing, so there's almost no friction loss. And it just gets going faster and faster. Every time lightning strikes it, it just goes faster and faster, and then you just draw it down
and
as you go. And aside from the fact that if it came off of its spinner, it would wreck dozens of counties.
That's true. If you put it,
something.
I think if you position it in the right spot in North Dakota, it
would probably be fine.
It'd be fine. It would wreck dozens of individuals' homes.
Right. If it went for 100-mile tour across the state.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was the major failing. But I think that kinetic. Are you familiar with kinetic core in Loveland? That kind of actually storing things kinetically in the world that we have now might actually be useful because we can capture solar and actually use it when you need it.
Correct.
Because that's the big thing, right?
Exactly. That's why Rawhide Power Plant needs to still exist. Not Coal Power 1. We're closing that down in 3 years. But the solar and the wind's good unless it's a cold night in the middle of December.
Right.
And there's no wind and there's no solar, but you need that baseload power.
You need a ton.
So, and this was years ago. Woodward Governor did a study that if the power goes down and they have a hiccup in their supply chain, their manufacturing chain, just a second or two, it will put all their parts off by a tenth of a degree till it resets.
Oh shit!
And that could cost them $20 million.
Right.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, it's important that the power doesn't go down.
Correct.
I mean, it's why you can't have any advanced industries in South Africa right now.
Correct.
Their power isn't developed enough. You could never make a semiconductor there.
And so we have pretty clean and and we're already, I think, close to 80% renewable power.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're really close. I think 76 or
Dang.
78%.
Interesting.
And but
But actual proper storage is really where you need to be because even though you're up to 75, 76% clean power, they're paying a double-ass buttload, no, forgive my language, to have the insurance of having a ton of coal and or natural gas ready to go.
correct.
Even though they don't burn it. They try not to burn it. Try hard not to burn it. But they got to pay a ton to have it ready to go.
100%. And that's why they're going with the new turbines that, as a planning commissioner for county,
That can wrap up really quick.
approved. Yeah, they can wrap up in minutes. And
Yep.
so if the load increases, turn them on.
Yep.
If they're not,
Can't
turn
have
them off.
power failures.
Yeah. Correct. Yep, gotta
Yeah.
have power.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm all in.
All right. Next flavor, please. Good anticipation, Ava. Like we're running behind. You got to speed it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can shut me off whenever. I'll talk forever.
I know you will. That's okay. That's part of my job.
So this
Then
one,
we're gonna take a break after this one. By the way.
Oh, sweet.
We do a mid round break.
This is
for the back part.
Brew House Sauces. It's by Old Town Spice Shop, and it's Rebel Uprising. So it's a Salvador heat spark with
This one, I love
Kip and
it.
chilies.
I already can tell you, I love it.
I
could drink it. I can't because I'm gonna have a tough night, just the way it is with what's ahead of us. But I love this sauce, even without trying it. There you go. Makes me want to sign up for the South. Okay.
You know, it actually carries a little bit of a early sweet note.
Yeah, it does. And I think that's part of what I love about it. Is it introduces itself so nicely. It's not hot, but it's like you can probably. I'm starting to beat up just a little bit. It's hot.
It is hot. Like there's a good tongue feel.
Yep.
You get all the way through the tongue and then the back of the throat. Probably I'm hearing my voice change as I'm eating it.
You know when you used to get it
Yeah.
never happens anymore, but occasionally back maybe 5 or 8 years ago. Yeah, more than 5 because that was COVID nation.
Yeah.
But you used to get hot wings when they're just like drenched in sauce. You go to Buffalo Wild Wings or something, and they're just like covered with sauce when they come out to you and whatever. That sauce on those wings, you'd be like, "Oh, thank you for blessing me with that extra."
A nice extra crispy wing
Yeah,
with
totally.
that, which
Yep.
that would be a perfect
Yep.
wing.
And not Buffalo Wild Wings because we're talking local, maybe
Local. Jim's
Jim's
or
or Memphis or
Memphis.
who knows? Yeah.
Moses.
What's the one on LeMay? Wingstop. No,
Wing
not
Shack.
Wingstop. Wing Shack.
Yeah.
That's like I think they might have passed Jim's Wing as kind of my preferred wing joint.
I think we just had a debate, a couple of friends, where we're going to probably have both of them because we're looking at which had the better dine-in special. They're both within a penny.
Yeah.
And the hot garlic hot sauce from Wing Shack, and it's not local Fort Collins, but local Greeley, starting Greeley.
Close enough.
It is.
Northern Colorado is close enough to local for me.
We gotta give Greeley something sooner or later.
They've got a lot. They've been taking all of the businesses that our economic development office
Greeley
attracts to the Northern Colorado.
Greeley's now a very big competitor in the regional stage. 20
Totally.
years ago, as you know, like you talk to most people like Greeley, no, that's so far away. We'll never go there. Now Greeley is
Martin's going to Greeley.
Martin's going to Greeley. Martin might be going to Greeley.
We'll see.
We'll see what the voters.
Yeah, we better not get into
decide.
that because that's squirrel chase will be too long.
Yeah, we'll be talking in a couple hours, and someone will get a cease and desist letter.
Question number 4. This is from our other friend Sean Godby from Old Town Spice Shop.
Yes.
The proposal for paid on-street parking in Fort Collins aims to address revenue and parking turnover. How do you plan to balance the city's need for revenue and parking management with concerns of business owners and customers regarding accessibility and affordability?
So I served on the parking advisory board when the city had one. So I served on that for 5 years. And we were talking about trying to do a paid parking pilot program, maybe on Pine.
Okay.
And we were also talking about moving the hours from 8 to 4 to 10 to 6.
Okay.
Both were talking about that was well over a decade ago.
Right.
And they couldn't even get the money, the $80,000 to replace all the signs to go from 8 to 4 to 10 to 6.
Oh, interesting. And Pine's like the sneaky spot where you can get parking.
Get parking and that.
Like, why do I pay for it there? I'll just go to the parking garage. Sorry.
So but we were looking at different pilot areas to do that, and we couldn't figure out how to actually implement it back then. And that's when we didn't have a pandemic that we went through. That's when we weren't already in a budget shortfall, and that's not before the Old Town businesses are going to be struggling with a year-long
all these property taxes, rent increases,
and college will be
insurance
partly
increases,
shut down for a year, and so
college would be shut down for a year.
Parts
if
of it,
they were going to try to charge for it there.
No, they're having to replace water main or
really?
pipe down college.
When is that happening?
I think sometime in the next year.
Oh wow!
Through maybe 2026.
Oh dang!
But there's gonna be disruption for a year.
So they'll divert a bunch of traffic up Mason, I guess.
Mason will go one lane on both sides. It's really hard because it's a state road,
right?
Or it's a state
Gotta
highway,
keep it open.
And then a city. So you have CDOT, you got the city, you got the county. It's a mess.
Interesting.
And Darren Atterbury, when I was on the parking advisory board, he's like, the reason I've been city manager for so long is because I never touch parking. And because no matter what you do, you're going to piss off everyone. And I somewhat agree with that. Now, if we were looking at doing this because of
so what's the problem right now?
Problem is parking and the whole code enforcement department is what's this called, an enterprise fund, meaning they only can use the fund they collect to pay for the services, so the parking services. And so if they're not collecting enough fund...
so they don't collect enough parking tickets to even pay for their services?
And so they've been backfilling it with the general fund because we're in a budget deficit.
Well, and they shouldn't. If they can't send people out looking for parking tickets to make enough money to pay their own job, they shouldn't enforce it then.
And we were looking at that turnover time frame because...
Get some drones or something. I don't know.
We were looking. I was part of the.
It always annoys me when I see those parking people coming around and putting a little chalk thing because it's just so annoying.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, and so we were looking at doing, the company just lied to the city. So the city won a lawsuit, I think, this last year. When I was on the parking advisory board, we had a company come in and put these little sensors, pucks, in each things. And the idea was if you're like driving down there with Waze or Google Maps, it would tell you which parking spot that was open, and it would update like every 2 minutes. So, like, as you're driving down to Old Town, it'd be like, here's a parking spot.
So you can have extra special information and get it.
And then it would also...
But the parking garages are never full.
Correct. And that's why I encourage and I support moving from that 8 to 4 to the 10 to 6. That 2-hour parking window.
Okay.
Because, as you know, in Old Town... 8, 9, 10 o'clock most mornings, even Saturday, Sundays, you can find parking.
Anywhere. Totally.
But... the employees get there. A lot of employees get there at 4 and park in front of the restaurant or business, and then they don't move the car for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
We moved it till 6 p.m. and forced it till 6 p.m. Then it would force those employees to park in the parking garage.
Right.
And that would open up that turnover.
And even if you have a low price on the parking garage, at least it's revenue for all those open spaces.
Correct, it's revenue, and then work with the business owners, and I think they already do this.
Even
I think
discounted passes for employees and stuff like that.
20. I think right now it's 20.
That would be the best. Like one of the things that I had an old boss in banking that was kind of a jerk, but he told me one good thing, at least, maybe a few, which was never take up your customers' valuable parking space when you're going to go visit them. And the same thing for your employees.
Yeah.
Like, if you're an Old Town employee listening to this and you try to park on the street, you should probably not do that. Let that come for the people who are paying, and go park in the parking garage and figure out with your boss how to keep that space open for
the parking garages are
customers.
all well lit. And I would also, so part of it I would do, instead of doing paid parking, I would try the 10 to 6 thing.
Yep.
To update that whole signage, it's about $75,000-$80,000. It's not cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than implementing paid parking. and look at that for 2 or 3 years. If we're not seeing what the
what you need to do.
and intended goal, then we can then
The real
look at
problem
parking.
right now is they don't make enough money enforcing parking to pay for parking.
No.
Enforcement.
And it's
Sorry. I don't want to dwell there.
it's so hard. And I agree. Like, and I'm friends with the parking manager and the code enforcement manager.
Sure.
Like, they're great, but a lot of it, they didn't want to have people work that 10 to 6. They wanted them 8 to 4 because they didn't want to potentially get into overtime or have someone not
Sure.
be able to work till 6. But if you're in a
You have
job,
to think about all factors. Though.
yeah, you just get used to working that 10 to 6.
Sure.
Or you hire people knowing perfectly well, hey, this is a parking enforcement officer. The hours are 9:45 to 6:15.
Well, and they probably could have different hours for different
Correct.
people.
Or part-time or
right,
whatnot.
totally.
And so I think we should go that route, see what we can do. I think we'd increase the generation of funds because it would push more people to the parking garages.
Right.
And-
Because they're what? Are they more than half full?
No, the parking garages are.
Right.
And there's like 2 days a year.
That would be my opinion. Is we totally should not charge for on-street parking.
Yeah.
Unless the parking garages are actually full
Yeah, correct. And there is a
or
mechanism.
close to full,
There is a mechanism.
and then we should build more parking garages.
Correct. Like the one behind the Tonys, where it's going to be that half affordable housing, like 28 units, and then 2.5 or 3-story parking garage.
Right.
That would have been more parking than's currently there, and provide housing.
Right.
But the city, in all the wisdom, said, let's do another study for a year. Even though I've been on so many task force study groups.
We
Kurt.
love committees, though.
I do, but after like 10 years of like studying the same thing, you're like, just do it.
I had an old boss that said he groaned and gave birth to a gnat.
Yeah.
And sometimes it seems like what the city's
city-
doing with the parking problem.
We do amazing planning. We
Right.
just don't implement the plans.
yeah.
So I do think I'm not supportive of going to paid parking now. I think it's just a revenue to try to get revenue.
Totally.
And that's your only goal.
And it would probably hurt business.
It would hurt
It
business.
would hurt business.
Also, what it would do, it would
My opinion.
alienate the locals. If you're a tourist, you don't know it's not paid parking from today to tomorrow. Like,
Right,
if you're
right.
here, you're great, whatever. But there's 175.
Maybe we should have a locals pass.
That may
No.
not be.
Yeah, but,
But
think of
it's so
they would
hard.
have like 3 more jobs to
Yeah.
administer the locals pass
Exactly.
program. It'd be worse.
Too complicated
Yep.
for the cost
Yep,
amounts benefits.
yep.
Let's not alienate Old Town from the locals. Let's work to modify our behavior so people aren't parking on the street.
Yeah.
That worked.
Well,
out.
even an education program from a lot of the employers downtown that we're covering your garage parking.
Yeah,
Boom.
done.
Yeah.
I think the owner, Steve. I think it's Steve.
Steve Taylor, probably from Austin's.
And
Mills.
no, Redizio's.
Oh, that's Ty.
Ty,
Yep.
yeah. So I think he does pay for his employees to park in parking garages.
Oh, cool.
And I don't think he can even get half his employees because he said that at a city council.
Right,
meeting.
they don't want to. They just
Yeah.
want to grab a spot.
Yeah, he's all like,
because they're parking when it's actually pretty easy to park.
at 3:45.
Right.
Yeah.
Right in front of Persimmon.
Yep.
And so Robbie's like, come on, man, can't you leave my spot available?
Oh, I love Persimmons. They have a
best-
coffee like
Best eclectic place in town.
they have like this cold brew coffee soda.
I like their
thing.
little vinegar soda things.
Yes.
What do they call them? Snatches or no? Snuffs? No.
I don't
forget.
I drink
Anyway,
them. I don't know what
they're
I
like
just
sugary,
point,
vinegary thing.
Yeah, I just point out the menu.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
We need to take a break.
Awesome.
We'll
Let's
come
do it.
back.
Hi, this is Clint Jasperson, Managing Partner at Purpose Driven Wealth. We believe financial clarity leads to a life of contentment and purpose. Our mission is to guide clients through the complexities of wealth management, retirement planning, and legacy using a values-driven, stewardship-based approach focused on provision, contentment, and enjoyment. With more than a century of expertise through Thrivent, we offer tailored strategies to help individuals and families achieve their goals and embrace generosity. Whether you're navigating a life or business transition or planning for the future, we're here to partner with you every step of the way. To learn more about Purpose Driven Wealth, call 970-330-7411.
And we're back.
Awesome. And it looks like we're on the home stretch for the second half.
We have second half. I don't know if it's home stretch. It seems like the devastating stretch to me.
Well, it seems like when all the hot sauces get fun and Sean and Paul just sit back and giggle. Because they know what they're doing to people.
I've had most of these. I haven't had the last one, which Paul doesn't bottle because it's too hot. Nobody will buy it.
Is it Olaf?
Yes, it's Olaf.
Oh, okay. Whenever I asked that to him earlier, he just grinned, and I was like, "It's not Olaf, is it?"
Is it Olaf? I heard Olaf, like
Olaf, like
a big Norwegian that's gonna slice your head off with an axe or something.
Yeah, it's the snow character from Frozen.
Oh, really?
Olaf.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and it's
Stupid.
yes,
Seems
yes, it
likely to
is.
be stupid.
I'm
drinking milk already to prepare myself.
Now that I know it's Olaf, can we get Pepto-Bismol?
No, we don't have that here.
So we're gonna
But
start.
you can have some milk.
We're gonna start easier with just Matador's the Red.
Yeah, this is just a nice kind of classic. I have more information than you because I was on with Shirley already. But to me, this is just like a kind of a traditional tomato forward red sauce.
Very traditional. You know, this would blend really, really well with just a good marinara for like a spicy bolognese.
Yeah, or even just a red chili. Honestly, you want to move up from silver to gold on your chili contest. Maybe just put a quarter bottle of that in there, or a few drips on the top.
Because it has a good. It's this whole mouthfeel, good tomato feel. I feel a little vinegar in it,
Yep.
which is good.
Yep.
More oil or a vinegar base, so it's a good. And I like vinegar based hot sauces a lot because they don't linger as much.
Right. Yeah,
so
they eventually dissipate.
yeah, the capsaicin doesn't hold on.
I got a haircut since my last episode with Shirley. I was shagadelic, and so I could do like a mohawk and stuff, but I don't have the hair for it now. I'm sweating up already.
Seeing the beads a little bit.
You're gonna see it run down my face.
So, have you had Olaf?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, and I've had those other two. What are they? Yeah, Jack Slade's Revenge is the one before that. I have had that. That was rough.
Yeah, those are good. They're rough.
Yeah,
But
they're nothing like Olaf.
no.
That's the last dab, and
Yeah.
you're gonna take more than I do, regardless.
Oh,
of what
okay.
we take. Yeah.
Things I'll do to become
not
mayor.
scared. Social hot topic.
Yeah.
So we asked for. I reached out and just kind of asked for what people were especially interested in, and homelessness was kind of one of the most recurring phrases there. How would you rate the city of Fort Collins on its homelessness initiatives in recent decades? Because it's been a couple of 20 years, more plus or minus.
Yeah.
And what changes would you recommend to the program going forward to make it better?
I think we've done a lot of positives.
Okay.
One aspect that I think we've done well is the community engagement through our unhoused population.
Yeah.
In particular, the Fort Collins PD Hope Department, a Hope Group, which is homeless outreach and prevention education, and they do a really good job of integrating and communicating with those that are unhoused and homeless to really determine kind of what's the core root of the what's causing it. And it's quite interesting where I think we've done a much better job over the last decade or so of identifying those who are chronically homeless
Yeah.
that are here year round. And there's about 400-ish individuals. And compared to about the transients that come and go as weather or as the wind blows.
The wind blows them, yeah.
And so...
Well, and there's also a third population probably that's like moms with a couple of kids that need help for a little while or
very much
whatever, right?
I've had friends and
Somebody
people
that gets laid off.
I've
and-
had connections with where I had a gentleman that he lived in his car for a year because he was in a well-paying job, lost a job, but refused to lapse on his child care, or not
Right.
child care,
Right.
child support.
Right.
So he couldn't afford both rent and
Yep.
child
Yep.
support. So he just chose to live in his car.
Yeah, his child support was
Yeah.
X from when he made more money.
Correct. And
Couldn't change it now,
and
even though he still has a job.
Yeah, and so
Wow.
those temporary homeless.
That's kind of the difference between the unhoused and the homeless.
Yeah.
Homeless is almost more of a long-term kind of element, and
chronic,
unhoused is chronic.
Yeah, and unhoused, and so depends on who you're talking to. Some individuals do get it's that word.
So overall, sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but
you're good.
You're
You're
kind of
good.
wordy sometimes. But
I
so
do,
overall,
I do.
the grade for Fort Collins currently over the last, say, 10 years, just
B minus.
okay.
And
What do we want to change?
So I think we need to do a better job of identifying still the root causes and have better a system to help. Right now there's gaps. So to make it easy. So if you're if you're homeless and you're struggling with addiction or mental health or PTSD or you're a vet, we have systems kind of start you down the process to get housed or get treatment to better yourself as you choose.
Yeah.
The challenge is
Most of them you got to do it alone.
do it alone, and we have a great service that can start helping you here, but there's too big of a gap to go to the next service where you may be weeks or months because of capacity for our nonprofits and our programs and systems. Just sometimes navigating the system is as clear as mud.
Okay.
So we need to have a better holistic approach.
Okay.
So one thing I proposed for our nonprofits and homeless individuals would be almost the city have a couple nonprofit navigators or system navigators, because it's so hard to navigate, especially if you are struggling with addiction. You don't have stable housing, and so we can help them navigate from point A to point B.
Right.
And they have to take that step, but we can show them how to take that step.
Yeah.
Also, our city and our leaders they want everything to be perfect, especially with our housing. So they don't give, we make it just as hard to build affordable housing that can be transitional housing than we do normal market rate housing. Now, I'm not saying we should build shanties,
Right.
but at some point, those that are homeless and unhoused,
They don't need to be R38,
correct.
especially not in this mild climate.
They don't need it to be EV electric ready. They just need a roof over their head
Yeah.
and four walls that they can call home and have some stability. So that's where we can really gain. And those are things that we can do. Like, we can't change some outside
Sure.
influences. We made a big progress on Longview mental
Sure.
health system. And I think as we expand that campus, we'll provide more acute and nuanced treatment and support mechanisms. But that we're struggling on funding from everything's funding related.
Right.
So we can just make it as a stopgap, have a couple of navigators, maybe see
It doesn't take a lot of funding to have some navigators, and
Correct.
you might have better outcomes.
Better
for
outcomes.
Each of these people.
a little bit better, and also increase the budget for the Hope team. So we do have that better community feel. So you do see the interactions between the community service, police services, and our homeless population. That's not negative. It's a positive influence.
Yeah. Dig it. You ready,
So-
Eva? We're ready for the next sauce. I know we're running a little bit behind.
No, that's fine.
It's okay. Not your fault. It's my fault.
No,
I'm
it's
the
my
host.
fault.
Well, I know you're wordy, but it's still my fault. I'm the host. What is this one?
Oh, sorry. It's a room 217.
This might have been the final one last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's so delicious and so
Oh,
painful. Not painful,
no, this is.
but it's gonna come and
Oh, yeah.
kick you in the back of the.
It really comes in.
Yeah, comes in so late.
Like, oh, this is sweet. This is easy. And then you're back your throat. You're like, no.
I can't believe I'm dipping so much sauce on these. That's Sean and Paul. You're really to blame. Like, I know that I'm gonna be up at 4:00 this morning on the toilet, not having any fun. I know that I'm gonna be sweatier than a dog here, but I go back and I dip it, double dip it.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to follow me.
I know, but I have to. It's so good.
You know, that one's always really good because it starts forward and it's a little thicker too, so it lingers. So yeah, it's fine. I mean, my face, I won't sweat, but I'm guessing my head's going to turn as red as.
You're getting a little red.
Yeah, feels it.
But you won't sweat, huh?
I might sweat.
We'll see when the final turns come around.
Oh, you just see me crying. It'd be fine.
So this is the random question grab bag, because I only put out 7 questions to you guys, but we got 8 sauces.
I like it.
Last time. So we do this with our LoCo Experience guests. They answer all 3.
Okay.
But I'm just going to ask you all 3 questions and have you do a question answer to one of them.
Pick one.
Yep. The hardest one if you want to.
I got 2, 25, and 28.
2, 25, 28. We'll go in numerical order. One of the most popular questions to be asked actually is number 2. I can take those.
Okay.
2, 25, 28. Got them. Number 2. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
100. No, one horse-sized duck.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if I can get around them, do a chokehold on that one, it'd be fine. But those 100,
I'm kind of in the same place.
they could just
I don't
pile
know.
on.
I don't know. I go back and forth. I can't. Yeah. And you don't have to answer every question, but you get extra points if you do. So,
Oh, awesome. I like points.
25. What's one thing on your bucket list that you're determined to accomplish besides becoming mayor of Fort Collins?
One thing I've always had a dream of doing is jumping in and out of a perfectly good airplane.
Oh, I like it.
So I had to get to a certain weight, and I'm on the process to do so.
Okay.
If I do get to the weight,
You're
then
probably like halfway there after losing 30 pounds on this campaign tour so
I'm
far.
getting pretty close. I got another about 30 pounds to go.
Nice.
And then I
Yep.
will jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
I like it.
That's on my bucket list. Hopefully the chute opens.
A celebration of becoming mayor, perhaps.
Be like, yay, you voted for me. I'm making good decisions.
And do you have enough life insurance now?
No, but that's a good. I should probably
You should
get
do
life
it,
insurance.
yeah, because they like charge you more after you do that kind of shit.
Probably.
A little bit.
They're like,
It's on the question. I remember years ago, I was planning to get back into motorcycling, but I hadn't yet. I was like,
okay.
I should probably buy some life insurance now.
smart.
Anyway, number 28. What's your proudest achievement in business?
You know, I think pre-pandemic, I started a not-for-profit called the Draft Solutions.
Okay.
And we would hold quarterly events to promote other nonprofits.
Okay.
And we
You're
would.
suffering a little bit from this sauce,
am,
aren't you?
I am.
Good. Me too.
It's hitting me a little bit more than I thought I would. So I'm getting that drunk punch.
Right. I'm kind of
Hot
stupid
sauce?
right now.
But so the Draft Solutions was really fun where I was able to build it from we would have 5 or 6 people come to a couple events, and we'd hold up breweries and raise money, awareness, and volunteerism for other nonprofits. And pre-pandemic, right before the pandemic stopped and we couldn't meet, we got to where we were having 60, 70 people come to the breweries and raise, not thousands, but actually sometimes thousands of dollars for these nonprofits.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it was really fun to see the organic growth of it.
Yeah. It's
And
called what?
it's called the Draft Solution.
Draft Solutions. So you just kind of go to different breweries and invite people to come learn about the Podcast of the Month Club.
Yeah, kind of. And
Almost.
so we would be like,
Well, not the podcast, but the nonprofit of the month club is what I meant.
invite in Crossroads Safe House, and
Sure.
we would do the breweries would do $1, $2 a beer.
Yeah.
And people come drink and learn about the things, and then also we saw a big increase in volunteerism
Yeah.
for these nonprofits. So not only did they get money, but they got volunteers, which at some point
Yeah.
is more worth it.
Do you mind if somebody else restarts that after?
Not at all.
This?
I think it's
It seems like a good idea, like useful for everybody. Like the breweries win. At LoCo Think Tank, we say we look for the win-win-win-win, but we'll settle for the win-win-win if necessary. And to me, it seems like a great win for the nonprofits, for people, for the community, for the brewery.
And it was super low hanging fruit when it comes to like organizing.
Okay.
At one point I was doing it monthly. A monthly just got too hard.
Yeah.
But doing it quarterly, advertising minimum.
Allow traction to build, put posters in the brewery that it's coming
yep.
to, but also the next 2 breweries and the last 2 breweries because they're happy to hang posters for you.
And the brewery scene here is they will promote other events, and so that was a really fun business wise. Like even like my coffee company, even though I just closed it, I closed it on a positive note. I wasn't losing money. I just the commodity price, and it just didn't make sense.
I didn't want to lose money.
Yeah,
a bunch of money.
But I think if the pandemic didn't happen and we weren't shut down for 18 months, 2 years, and then I started the coffee business and everything just got kind of changed in life wise, I think it's a great. And I got the the logos and draft solutions, kind of like a double positive, like draft for beer solution is a beer. And Find Solutions. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it was really
well,
fun.
and Solutions. So they were actually meeting together as nonprofit leaders too, or what's the solutions part?
So a lot of the time, the solution was kind of just a double take on beer, like draft, and then beer is a solution, is a chemical solution.
That's oh, I guess it is. I was thinking about an old Homer Simpson quote. Beer, the cause of and solution to all of life's little problems.
But we would have the nonprofit executive directors.
Yeah.
And staff come in.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking is maybe this should be, if you would organize it, LoCo Think Tank could potentially be a part of it, and we could actually do like a free think session with nonprofit leaders. Because I've always kind of been open to nonprofit leaders being in a think tank chapter, but they never have any money, right, and stuff. But if you could do something as a regular service and allow them to connect and process together what's going on in their industry, it might be useful. So,
and I think it will work.
Ping me after this.
I will 100% because I think we can actually see that increase in that connective tissue.
Right.
Between
and if you're getting them new volunteers potentially, or all these other things, and just. Unfortunately, nonprofits are some of the least abundance-minded people because they're always running short of budget.
Yes.
And so it's hard for them sometimes to share with each other about, this big donor, Ralph.
Yeah.
Oh, which big donor, Ralph?
Yeah. What's his number?
Exactly.
Can I call Ralph?
But if you get the right environment of trust going on, you can navigate that.
There's a great deal of respect between the nonprofits and
totally.
and
100%.
And just seeing that how much
ton of
work,
respect, but a little bit of fear, more fear than there should be.
100%.
Well, because it's not undue.
Right now, their fundings are being cut. That's right.
Totally. And they probably deserved it because there was probably too much non-local funding going on in the nonprofit community here because that means it's not local control anymore.
Well,
somebody's got them doing stuff,
Well, it's not just that. Like they take. There's books of grants you have to apply for, but even my position, I can't really talk about, just conflict of interests.
Okay.
But I'm grant funded.
Okay.
At the federal level.
Yeah.
So, and that's on shaky ground.
Right. I don't doubt it.
And so,
but that's not a place to build a foundation.
No.
And so, I hear both of my brother-in-laws were government employees that were liable to being cut or whatever by trims to the different things and stuff. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
But when a necessary position of a local sheriff's department is grant funded to the point where it would be bad for the community if it went away, then the federal government has no business being there.
No.
In my opinion.
We'll finding local funding is key. And fortunately, we have amazing donors here locally.
Yeah.
And it's all the small businesses. And I've talked about this in my campaign.
That's why it's so crucial we keep the small business community healthy.
Anheuser-Busch may give $5,000 for a sponsorship, but New Belgium will give $5,000 or $10,000 or
to 4 different organizations.
Or Maxline may not be able to give $5,000, but they'll give beer.
Right.
They'll give advertising, and they'll give or Zwei or
Sad Panda you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Those guys give beer to everybody.
Yeah.
They don't donate much money to anybody, but they give beer to everybody.
And so they do, and that's
Tim and Carol. Sorry, guys.
Tim and Carol are just sweethearts.
They totally are. We need to move on.
Yep.
It's Sauce 7. This one is the Slade's Revenge.
Yes.
You've had it before.
I have. It's hot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I've had it before, too.
And so next week you have 2 of these back to back, right?
It's true.
Okay. So how are you going to do that?
I don't know what I'm gonna do,
All right.
honestly. Like, it's gonna be stupid. I gotta stop dipping them so deep. Get out of there.
The problem with this one is it's a lot milder up front.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pussycat on the kiss.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe I'm doing it.
It's so easy. You're like, oh, I'll go in for another one. And it's easy. And then you're like, no, that was a mistake.
Yeah, wait. Those 2 are like kissing cousins a little bit.
They are. And I think this one's actually a little bit easier than the 217. 217, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think the 217 is a thicker.
Yep. And it clings on the.
It clings on.
Yep.
Well, this is a little bit more less viscous.
Yep.
And it goes down a lot easier.
Yeah, I would say that's true. We almost switched the order. This one's. I mean, I'm dripping.
Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm sweaty now, I believe, too.
A little bit. Your cheeks are just a little bit, got a glow.
Just a rosy glow.
So the community hot topic is our 7th question. Only one more to go after this,
Perfect.
the last dab. How can the city of Fort Collins maintain financial strength in light of declining sales tax collection trends? What mix of cost-cutting and revenue enhancement strategies do you envision as being the most important to maintain fiscal health?
So I've talked about this a couple times on the campaign. So city used American Rescue Plan funding from the pandemic to fund some long-term positions and departments programs.
Why?
Just because it fit into the narrative at that point. And I don't know if it wasn't foresight or they thought that there would always be a building revenue stream. But there's not. So we need to look at any program, if it's American Rescue Plan funding or any other funding mechanism that is short-term funded, meaning there's a sunset to it. We need to look at those programs, and if they're not self-sustainable or achieving the necessary community good at a large scale, they need to be changed, reduced,
Is that like
or
a
eliminated.
big number of people?
I don't know if it has actually that many staff members.
Okay.
It could be in the dozen or
Okay.
over a dozen, but it's
That's still a lot of money at $100,000 per,
correct. And I don't like if we can repurpose some of those individuals to other open positions, so we don't have to hire new, and we can maintain. We don't have to
Right,
increase.
if they're good employees, we don't have to go fishing, that's
there's
fine.
There's ways that we can
So that's your first step almost. Is like,
do an audit.
if your job was funded by short-term stuff, sorry, but that short-term stuff is gone.
We got to look at other ways to either fund it. Now, if it was funded by short-term funding, but it's doing a great deal of community good, where you can justify it through either social benefit mechanisms.
Okay, but the city's broke.
Yeah.
Like, so let's just kind of
Okay.
zoom in on that. Like, we're going to be all mamsy-pamsy about who gets to keep their job and
Correct.
who not.
So
Like, we need to spend less money
Yeah.
and make more money.
and one of the best things that Darren thought about doing and just has gone away is the stop doing list.
Oh, yeah.
Darren, before he left as city manager, he's developed a stop doing list.
Right.
Where if it's not working, stop doing it. One of the best things that went away with that is the medians, the medians.
Yeah.
At one point was costing $3 million a median to upkeep with all the foliage and the trees.
Okay.
So we said, if we put some nice iron railing in and do decorative design, there's no maintenance. We don't have to upkeep it. Let's continue to look at things like that.
Yeah.
Things that we don't have to continue to upkeep.
Yeah.
And so we need to do an audit to figure out where we're spending too much money on pet projects.
How much should we spend on the audit?
Unfortunately, any audit's going to cost six
Yeah.
figures.
Yeah.
It's just it's part of it.
Yeah.
It's almost like doing if you're in a private business. If I wanted to go up to the next stage on the coffee roasting business and to make more money, I would have to invest in a new roaster. So there is sunken money into figuring out where to cut money, unfortunately. But we need to start because our budget's $938 million.
Okay.
10 years ago, it's $540 million.
Wow.
$550. So we're almost double
Right.
in 10 years.
Right.
And our population's only increased by 6.7% or 7.2%.
Right. Wow.
So we're asking our citizens.
Well, and inflation supposedly has been 2 to 5% during that time,
yeah.
mostly.
And so we can't keep asking our citizens to keep paying more in taxes.
No.
So another project that I would like to see, the city was gung-ho, and the current council was gung ho on rental licensures and registration, but they miscalculated the cost of that by $8 million based on my pro forma I did.
What's that now?
So they thought they could do a rental or licensure program.
Like short-term rentals and stuff?
No, like every rental in Fort Collins would have to be licensed.
Right.
They thought they could do an inspection on each of those rentals for $49 an inspection. Spending 10 years as a realtor of the year.
Right.
Yeah, that's no. So I went through and I reached out to other cities that had licensure programs, and they're all spending $3 to $4 million or $300 to $400 per inspection.
Right.
Plus, they're all running a deficit of millions of dollars
Right.
on the program.
So even having that.
Yeah. And when I kept asking, well, what's the benefit? They're like, oh, it's health and safety. No, that's not asking.
But the market will figure that out.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, if there's a slumlord, the market will be like, hey, this guy's a slumlord.
So now we have registration that's...
So how many staff in Fort Collins are associated with rental registration program?
3.25, I think. So
Just for the
3.25.
inspections?
Yeah. Just for the whole program right now.
Oh, that's a whole program.
So I was able to stop the licensure program just...
Okay.
I gave, whenever I was on that task force, I was able to get them to not do the license, just a registration. But that program's not self-sustainable.
Right.
It's not paying for
It's hard to say if the benefit's even there.
Yeah.
Right? We might pay for way more cost than the benefit to the community of Fort Collins is.
Correct. So there have all these policies and laws and regulations that's been passed that cost money to enforce, but doesn't do anything. The
Right.
fire pit ban in people's backyards where you can't have a fire pit.
Yeah.
That's another unenforceable
After 10. Or you can't do it more at all?
after 10.
Right.
And then it has to be 15 feet from a fence. And if your short-term rental is not at all, and all these regulations.
Right.
And even the police said, yeah, we're not going to enforce that because it's unenforceable. And they can't, so that we have programs and things that just, they don't work.
Right.
Also, we need to stop. I want to see us completely get rid of the 2-year. I want to still stick on a biannual budget, but get rid of the budget for outcomes. We spend millions of dollars on the budget for outcome process. It takes so long to develop.
To like try to score how the outcomes were of all these
Yeah,
various
so
spending things.
Our staff at
Yeah.
the city does
It's like an
amazing-
exercise in exercise.
Yeah, they do an amazing job building these plans, but then they spend the next year putting together these budget proposals. That takes them 6 months and hundreds, if not thousands, of man hours.
Sure.
That's if we cut that and make it a more simplified 2-year budget cycle, like 95% of other
But
cities.
we still want to track outcomes, though, right?
We do, but
Not on the front end of making.
not on the front end, and not in the way that we're spending. We're probably spending. I'm estimating tens of thousands of hours that's wasted in
a lot.
employee time.
Wow, that's a ton.
At let's say $30 an hour on average, $40 an hour on average.
Whatever that is,
Talking
that's
about
a ton.
4 or 5
millions
million.
of dollars. Yeah.
And then on the revenue side, we need to get businesses to stay here.
Right.
We need to attract businesses. We can't let another Centera leave and go down 11. We can't let Walmart and another Costco.
And we can't let Old Town suffer.
No.
If Old Town would turn, city of Fort Collins would be really hosed.
And there's things that we could do that improve our revenue. New Belgium's our biggest tourist draw.
Yeah.
With well over 100 to 150,000 people
Okay.
that comes to New Belgium.
Yep.
That corridor along Linden, we can improve that corridor to
Right.
make it a mixed use and amplify that tourism thing and see that tourism dollars come in.
Yeah.
So we need to track. This goes back to the green energy thing. It's attract businesses that will spend money and
Yeah.
people.
And they don't need big footprints.
No, and then we also need
Big
to
offices.
make it easier to live here too. We're losing tax revenue because people are living because they can't afford here.
Yeah.
As a realtor, I sold
They
more.
moved to Eaton.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
sold more properties in Greeley and Severance than I did in Fort Collins because no one could afford Fort Collins.
Yep.
So now they're spending all their tax revenue in Severance and Windsor.
Right.
Seeing those cities.
Well, and I talked about that. It was surely when you order online from Amazon or something, yes, the local community still gets those dollars, but if you're ordering online from Severance,
no,
then they get it.
they get it, and most people spend
And if they were driving to Fort Collins to buy it instead, then they would have got it there.
and 80 people spend about 85% of all their money within 2 miles where they live.
Right.
That's including
Wow.
housing.
Wow.
So they spend almost all their money. They don't spend it where they work. They spend it where they live.
Yeah.
As we need more people to be able to afford to live in Fort Collins and not commute to. Also, that commuting time frame, and negatively impacts our budget because it costs more to maintain the roads.
Sure.
It costs more for traffic policing. It costs more for insurance for paramedics. It also puts more negative air quality
Carbon stuff
carbons.
going on.
So it's like a triple negative to
Yeah.
have people not live here. So we need to, and so it goes to like building condos, building housing, different housing things, attracting new businesses.
What do you think about BlackRock owning all the houses?
I'm pushing an initiative and narrative to build more for sale condos strictly for owner occupied.
Okay.
There's a ratio, and we're close to it. Like if you get over 50% of your population rents in your own city, you start seeing a decline in home values, community,
Just actual
interaction.
investment in being here.
Yeah, because you're not permanently here,
Yeah.
and we're at like 49%,
Wow.
which is we're higher because of the college. That's
Right.
normal.
Yeah.
But we really need to increase home ownership.
So many more. Like there was hardly any families with 2 kids that rented a house when I was, in my early 30s, for example, and stuff. Everybody found a way to buy something. They bought a crappy little townhome or whatever. But now a lot of them can't.
And when we were, in our 30s and 20s, before the building defects law came about in 2008, we saw about an 80-20 build. 80% single families, 20% condos, for sale condos and attached units, which is healthy. Since 2008, we've seen a 97.3%. 97% single family homes built in the state, 3% attached. And if you saw from like, let's say 2012 to 2020, all the attached units were those $1 million row housing.
Right.
Because what would happen?
Oh, wow. I had no idea that we had just completely stopped building condos.
And the reason of
So they just build apartments instead because the
Correct.
liability is too high to build a condo.
because liability insurance in 2008 on average about $500 a unit. By 2012, it was over $30,000.
Wow.
And because there was over 75% of all condominium projects went into litigation.
Wow.
There's a project down in Denver that the litigation increased the cost of the project by $1 billion.
Oh, my God.
And so
That's crazy.
if you're an insurance company,
Yeah.
you're not going to build it. If you're a
Yeah.
developer, you're not going to build it. And so that
Right.
that
Any capital source for that is like, bye.
so the vacuum was filled by apartments.
Yeah, one of these?
No, but I'll see it.
Okay, thank you, though. Oh, God, that looks so scary.
I just,
Oh
for
my
the
God.
record, want to say, Paul, I dislike you.
I just touched a little bit and licked it off my hand.
So the first time I had this sauce, I was at
Oh, my God. Like, literally, it was like a speck size amount. Keep going.
I was at Paul's place,
Matador.
and I gave it just the back of a spoon, and I put the spoon down. I stood up, walked next door to Cold Stone Creamery,
Bought some ice cream.
bought an ice cream, and just stuck my tongue in it.
I don't doubt it. I'm gonna just do the tiniest. You have to do extra on this.
I'll
one
do
because
extra.
You're a man. I'm a wimp.
No, I'm just not smart. When people ask like why I'm running for office, I was like, I have a head injury.
I didn't dab that. I'm gonna get rid of some of this on this other guy.
Oh,
Get off of there.
that's a lot right there.
I noticed you didn't double dip though.
No, but I got a healthy amount.
You did. So this one's called. You called it Old Loft. I
think
heard Olaf.
That may be right.
But you know the heritage?
No, I just know it comes from Paul. And
Oh, and some kind of a show or something.
I thought it was.
Right. Well, I think of Olaf as like a big Viking dude that will cut
think
my
so.
head off with a big sword.
I thought it was a play on the Olaf from
Oh
Frozen.
yeah. You mentioned that.
I thought it was that.
Oh,
but
that's
I'm
what
not sure.
that's what Ava said. She confirmed it.
Oh,
So it's I don't know what Frozen. I mean, I've seen Frozen, but I'm not good at that game. I know lots of other stuff, but not movie scenes.
no worries.
I'm dripping pretty good.
It is hot. It builds.
Nobody should request this or order it, or God forbid, jar
It
it.
just keeps. Just keeps going.
But it's actually not.
It's good flavor.
It really is. Like, it has a nice, it almost reminds me of a little bit of like molasses or something like kind of Cajun sweet going on the back end. Like maybe some of that dark color is just a little dab of molasses to keep you from dying or something. I don't know.
It builds on the back glands.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's back here. Mm-hmm. Every time I breathe out, it gets hotter.
Yes, that is true. The last question is the LoCo Experience.
Okay.
And that is the craziest experience of your lifetime that you're willing to share with our listeners. You get extra points if it's, near death or anything super crazy, but
It is death.
death. I was just looking at the scar on the side of your head. It isn't that, is it?
It is.
Is it related to that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't notice that before just now.
No, it's a running joke I use. That the reason I'm running for office is because I have brain injury. And I was like, "What's your excuse?" It's just being in politics is always fun. But when I was 19, back in 2003, I was dumb. Decided to sit on the back of a car.
Okay.
Buddy was driving. Girlfriend was on the back, the trunk of the car with me.
Oh, you should just sitting facing backwards and
Yeah, going to go play basketball over at
Yeah.
Linton, and Buddy thought it'd be fun to goose it,
Oh shit.
and her and I both flew off, and I don't remember any of this. I caught her, and she was fine. She ended up having like a scratch, but I landed on my head.
You're both falling off the back, and you're like,
Yeah, and so I ended up spending a couple of days in a coma.
oh wow.
From what I've been told, on the operating table, had issues. I had family driving from
Like issues like you were probably
Heart,
not going to make it kind of thing, and
my
stuff was
family
going
thought-
down.
My family thought I was going to make it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so this is probably why I'm always so optimistically positive. Is I didn't realize it, but how many people came out. Like in high school, I thought I was kind of popular.
Okay.
I did theater. Well, not popular. I was known.
Yeah.
I was a theater. People knew that I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a goofball.
Yeah. I mean, you literally had me cracking up before we started this podcast. Like, you could be a stand-up comic if you chose to.
I was Patrick Swayze in the Chippendales routine, so I was in my underwear like 3 times in my senior year in high school.
Was your physique similar?
No, I was Chris Farley, 100%, even back then.
Okay.
But how many people came out to the hospital? And it was weird for me because I woke up a couple days later with no memory of what happened.
Wow.
And so for me, I was like, I'm fine,
And you're 40 something now or something?
Yeah, 41.
Okay.
So this was 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And so community came out, family drove up from Mississippi. They flew in. They thought they didn't think I was going to make it.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I woke up. First thing I said when I woke up was like, "Why am I in the hospital?" And I asked my dad for a Frosty. And then I remember my mother telling to my dad, "Go get him a mother from Frosty."
He asked for a Frosty. Go get him a
Frosty.
Frosty.
And so after that, just and I was super fortunate because they had me do some rehab classes, things.
Sure.
I mean, people was like,
But you were like probably a smart kid that turned into kind of not a very smart kid for a while. Would be my
Probably.
guess, kind of.
Yeah, I wasn't that best in school actually.
But because you fucked around too much and you were Chris Farley ended up
Yeah,
and writing
and-
comedy.
And I actually found that I became found my systems and my base after that a lot better.
Interesting.
I could never read or write, but I could understand for some reason, like I could read a policy and understand it. And so now like my focus became a lot better. And that's probably what shaped me being so policy driven now. Is
Yeah.
you give me a book like a novel,
Stephen King
book,
novel
and
or something dumb.
I'm just 3
Bye.
speech to win. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, yeah.
You give me a 2,500 page report from the EIS about the Glade Reservoir. I'll read through it all, and I'll understand 80% of it.
Wow.
I don't know why. And so, I got out of the hospital, and I was so stubborn as a 19-year-old kid. I was like, I'm fine. I'll just go back to college. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Funny, front range put me on academic probation because I failed those 3 classes I was taking that summer whenever I had my head injury because I was in a coma. Weird. So, but it couldn't couldn't focus right afterwards, and so that was the most impactful
Well, yeah.
part. I was going through a career probably in the restaurant business.
Okay.
Afterwards, I got into sales, and I was really determined. I had a speech impediment before my head injury.
Okay.
And it was made significantly worse, or not.
I thought I heard
significantly.
a snippet of it
Yeah.
earlier, just like a little tiny snip of it.
So I have to focus a little bit more when I speak.
Yeah.
And just to make sure, and
It was from the hot sauce, really, I think, that activated.
hot sauce. Well, and in my head, I think I can say these larger words, and I know what they mean, but then I try to say them, and it comes out as gobbledygook.
yeah.
So, like,
And you are incredibly well spoken for somebody that's like overcome like a brain injury, basically, right? Like that's what you're telling me. Kind of in rehab from it, all that.
yeah. So yeah, very, very, very effective. And I was lucky. I was in rehabs with people that had huge physical challenges.
Sure.
And it taught me a lot of humility, a lot of humble nature. Realized on how community connected we are. So that probably started me on the path for the nonprofits and helping out the community. And so that was the most impactful find.
For sure.
So
100%.
yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that story. And we were talking about how, in some ways, you're kind of the kind of sneaky ranked choice voting potential here. Like, you might not be too many people's first choice, but you might be a lot of people's second choice. And
Yeah.
maybe especially after this shot.
So and I was
you're
kind of
not as known as some of the other candidates.
not as known, and I was part of the group that got us ranked choice voting.
You were?
I advocate
Okay.
for this. A lot of people know me because I helped get rid of U+2,
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you.
and then I've helped
I
write
thought that was dumb since the first time I heard about it.
100%. So I got that passed, and so I'm known in like the policy side. The city staff knows me. They know me. A couple of people know me at the state. I've helped get a couple of bills passed at the state. But this is weird. I've always been behind the scene on the policy side,
Yeah.
and now being kind of out in the front.
Yeah.
Getting that name reputation. But most people I can talk about any subject for anything, and
Dig it.
it's really fun.
Well, I've enjoyed our time together. You look like
Yeah.
Are you one of those guys that gets hiccups sometimes when they have hot sauce?
I
It
haven't
seems like
before, but Olaf
You're
is.
thinking about getting some hiccups brewing here.
Olaf has. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Well, Adam, I sure appreciated the time. Thanks for being my guest on the LoCo Experience.
Kurt, thanks for hosting so much. And
Good luck in the election.
Thanks so much. This has been a blast. Thanks so much.
Godspeed.